Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika, y'all. Come on in here, get comfortable, all right? This is Atlanta, baby. We got Atlanta back, and I'm so excited. I did not think we was getting this show back. I remember when I first found out it was coming back. I'm like, oh, for real? Because May would be 4 years since we actually had our last season with them, all right? And you know that everybody that stars in this show all got, they all are stars in their own right, right? They all been doing separate different movie deals and, having different movies that they're in, I should say. You got Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, that does music and does movies. You got Lakeith that's in movies. Like, they all are keeping busy, busy, busy. Zazie Beetz been in stuff, and I forget, no disrespect, I just can't think of his name right now, but the one that plays Paperboy, you had him in Eternals, and you got, quite a few other movies. I just can't think of all of them, off the top of my head. So they are busy, 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 okay? They working, all right? But I'm so glad that they did come back to us. However, when this episode started, baby, okay, this is 3 slaps, okay? Episode 1, all right? Baby, I thought the Teddy Perkins episode was the craziest, scariest, weirdest episode we could get from them. Honey, I think they topped it with this one. They was not playing, all right? We started out this episode basically with this white guy and black guy that's on this lake, that he was saying how there was a whole town of people that died. Of course, these is all black people, and he was like, they were all murdered. This was a self-governed town and things of that nature. And so the guy at first is like, what? And he was like, so you're telling me there's a whole town of black people underneath us right now? And he's like, yeah. And he was like, what do you think? Why do you think so many people die every year? Basically, this place is haunted. And he was like, so you bringing me here drunk at night, you're crazy redneck self, to tell me these crazy different stories. And he's like, nah, for real, I'm being serious. He was like, it's because it's haunted. And so immediately when I see this, I'm like, they talking about Lanier, aren't they? Right? I knew right off the back, right? And the guy's asking him, you really think it's haunted? And he's saying, oh yeah, there's lots of souls down there. And if you don't know about Lake Lanier, you can look it up. Some people don't. Apparently some people were saying that they looked it up after seeing this episode. But they are telling the true story with this, okay? And I do love when shows incorporate history, inside of fiction and mix it up, right? We seen Lovecraft County do that. We seen The Watchmen do that. I can't think of the other show, but I know it's another show that do that. However, just my point is that I do like when they incorporate stuff like that, and we do know that Atlanta has done that at times. Snowfall also does that. And so, of course, this was like another spin to it, and it was kind of, spooky or whatever. But nonetheless, if you do this, look this up, you will see that there was a town, and it was built in 1956, and the government shifted some of the families and, drove out other families. And you know how that story goes, unfortunately. And, Lake Lanier basically gained a reputation, okay, where it was supposed to be over 145 drownings. It was like 57 boat related deaths, 675 total deaths, okay, 27 victims, in recent years that have never been found. And some people that did, the few that did survive the drowning said that it felt like, they was being pulled down by something. And so, like I said, look it up. This is real. And so, nonetheless, he was saying it's easy to see, a black man separated, cursed and say that he's separated from you. And, he was dropping some knowledge in the beginning where I was like, okay. But then he started confusing me a little bit and going somewhere else, okay, talking about some, everybody's white and whatever. But, nonetheless, as he's telling this story, like I said, the guy's looking at him like, are you just trying to make this stuff up? And are you, just trying to scare me or whatever the case may be? He's like 1 minute laughing, the next minute looking concerned, the next minute looking scared. And, he was just as confused as I was as to where the story was going. Because like I said, 1 minute I was on the same page with him, and the next minute I was like, okay, what you talking about, Willis? You getting a little crazy. And the next thing you know, he turns his head, excuse me, and turns back around to him, and it's like a white face with no damn eyes. I mean, ghost white, And then there's all these hands that's grabbing him. And so we actually end up meeting this boy. I think his name was Licarius, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like if he was having a bad dream while he's in the class, right? And so then we have the teacher say, oh, well, we're going to, be going to see Black Panther 2. And I'm like, oh, y'all getting Black Panther 2 already? Sure, we over here waiting, and they keep pausing on this daggone thing. And so nonetheless, we have another thing that's actually realistic that they threw in there, which was the meme of the little boy that was happy that they were going to see the original Black Panther movie, the first one, that got on the desk in the school and was dancing, right? This is what the little boy does. He gets up on the desk, he's dancing, he get down, all the kids is like, hey, 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 go, 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 And he gets in trouble for that, right? He gets sent to the principal office. So his mother's pissed. Apparently, they be calling her in to the damn office all the time. She was like, didn't I tell y'all to stop calling me? And they was like, we sorry, but, we had to have you come down here because he's in trouble or whatever. We appreciate you coming down, and we need to talk. And she was like, it's basically the mother and the grandfather. And they said, well, thank you both for coming. And they have, like a counselor come in too, where she's like, oh, I'm the guidance counselor. And she was like, okay, well, why don't you just, go ahead and, punish him, put him in detention, whatever you got to do. And so then they going to start talking about that, they need to basically put him in remedial classes. And mama was like, hold up, wait a minute. No, no, no. She was like, that's always the first thing y'all want to do is like hold somebody back or whatever, which is true. Okay. And it's funny because I had a friend that was going through this with her child recently. And I was saying a lot of times, boy kids especially, it can be girls too, do go through this, and sometimes they're just being a class clown. They're looking for attention. It could be many different things, and sometimes it really could be that they are more advanced and they know all this stuff first, and so then when they're finished with their things and they're bored or whatever have you, they would just do different stuff and be making the other kids laugh and things of that nature. Like a lot of times you got to put them into extra activities, and you may even want to look into testing. And who knows, instead of you being quick to be like they need to be left back, maybe they need to be put forward. But anyway, mama was giving them the business. She wasn't trying to hear it. She was pissed that they was even bringing up anything like that, okay? And they was looking at her like she wasn't even trying to let them get a word. And every time they was trying to talk, she was like, just give him detention. And she was getting ready to get up out of there, okay? And so again, they was like, thank you for coming. And so when she gets her son in the hallway, she basically starts making him do the different dances in the hallway in front of her, okay? She was like, come on, let me see you do the nay now. You better dance. Go ahead and dance. Show me what you was doing in the class. Yeah, go, 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 right? And she was like, you got these people thinking that there's something wrong with you and that you need special, classes. She was like, now do the whip. Nay, yeah, come on, get it. Hey, hey, hey. I was like, his mother's a bit much. She was like, hit it, hit it, hit it. I was understanding where she was coming from with that part. But then she started telling him, you better have some sense or these white people gonna kill you. So of course the damn white guidance counselor that's behind her is like, there's no need for that. There's no need for that. She was like, stop it, don't do that. And he, she told her, you keep showing for your white classmates. They may be laughing now, but they gonna be laughing later when you dead or in jail. So she was spitting some knowledge, but she was doing it, maybe not in the best way, in the best time. And so here come Grandpa walking up to him and basically ends up slapping him across the face 3 times, which this is another thing that became a gif, a meme, whatever, where the little boy did get in trouble in school, and they was, a grandfather that was there slapping him back and forth. So this is something else that they took. And so at first we like, okay, they got Lakeland there. They got like 3 memes. All right, let me see where this is going. And of course, the name of this episode is 3 slaps. And we seen him get 3 slaps. And so now when he gets home, the guidance counselor has said to him as he was walking away, like, don't worry, I'm going to get you out of there. And he was looking at her like, child, they done called on Child Protective Services. And of course the mama's like, oh, you called somebody? He's like, no, mama, I ain't calling nobody. She like, oh, okay, I got you. She was like, y'all want him, y'all can have him. Baby, she went in there and started packing up stuff. Then she was like, as a matter of fact, I ain't giving you all the clothes I bought. She was like, okay, y'all can take this boy before I kill him. And she done threw him out the damn house. I'm like, well, mama, damn, I ain't know you was going to do all of that. And so at first they saying, wait, they just wanted to look around, but she tossed him out there, all right? So he ends up, y'all, with this deck on, a white couple or whatever, a lesbian couple, that adopts kids and has foster kids apparently. He get there, he was like, what the heck is that smell? They talking about, oh no, that ain't no funny smell, that's just us with our herbs and our spices and whatever the heck they was saying it was. And he was like, no, that's stinking. Kids speak the truth and talk their minds or whatever. He was like, that ain't no, herbs there, all right. And so then she's busy telling him, oh, we gonna have fried chicken. But honey, she putting all this flour on the damn chicken. No seasoning, and then putting it in the microwave for 8 minutes. Need I say any more? Like, I said, please get this baby up out of here. This ain't the place he needs to be. All right. And so he going and he looking around, of course, and trying to observe the house and see how everything is, set up and where he gonna be and all that. Because they telling him to go get comfortable and that, they gonna go ahead and make this dinner. And I think it was three other little black kids there. So this is these white women that decided that they want to have adopt and foster care with all these black kids. And we know that we also see that. And so then they come and they bring him this towel, and the towel basically says Larry, because she was like, honey, I didn't know how to say Lucretius, okay? I don't even know how to spell that. I don't know how to say it. So she was like, we gonna call you Larry now. And I'm like, really? And so nonetheless, he's like, well, where's the washcloth? Honey, she told him, oh, no, we don't use washcloths. You use your hand. He was like, huh? Even for my butt? I said, and they was telling him, the other kids looking at him crazy because he asking for a washcloth. She was like, it's okay. He's new here. I said, no, y'all need to get Lucretius up the hell up out of there, all right? Not right. This is not right. And so nonetheless, she talking about, oh, she want to get a picture of them together and telling him to hold up the damn towel and all of this. So then he come down for dinner and he got on like a t-shirt and boxers. She's talking about, oh, what is that you wearing? He's like, my pajamas. She's like, oh no, we're gonna get you the proper clothes. I don't know what the heck the proper clothes was supposed to be, but nonetheless, when she brung him this chicken over, y'all, that chicken looked like it was just a raw piece of chicken. I don't know how the hell that was supposed to be no damn fried chicken. I don't even know what the hell else was on the plate. It looked like it was some type of maybe, I don't even know, eggplant or something, and some little tiny pebbles that might have supposed to been bees. But he was like, this food is nasty. And he was like, I want to throw up. And honey, I wanted to throw up looking at it, okay? I'm not mad at the table. I mean, not mad at the table. I'm not mad at him, okay? And they was telling him to not talk like that at the table and all of that. And they was like, oh, it'd be too much salt and, oils and foods, and that they make sure, that they getting stuff that's good and all of this other stuff. And I guess the other kids was used to it because they was, ready to eat it. But I was with Lucretius. I wouldn't have been eating no damn thing that looked like that either, okay? And so, like I said, they basically acting like this is just another normal day and everything is okay with this, all right? They don't see no problem with it. This is all normal for them. So then you see that they basically got the kids, the next day, like out in some type of garden. They got them doing work. And the next thing he's telling her he's hungry. She's like, that's okay. You supposed to be hungry. You never supposed to eat till you get all the way full. That's a good thing that you still hungry. And then she tells him, why don't you sing so that way you won't think about the fact that you're hungry and you won't be bored. So he's basically, about to do like a little rap song. Girl, don't you know this damn woman? I said, have she lost her freaking mind? Gonna talk about, oh, well, no, I'm not talking about that. That's not what I mean. Not that song. And she act like she was imitating, like, in other words, he supposed to be singing a Negro spiritual song or something like that. I don't know, baby, but I did not like it. I said, please get this little boy out this damn house, okay? This was starting to irritate my damn nerves, okay? So, as if that couldn't be bad enough, we all of a sudden, got them where they are at this market. And all of the kids is like around with different types of signs. And we see that he has a sign that says free hugs. And that's when I realized what this was supposed to be, y'all. There was a family, okay, the Hart family, back in 2014. This little boy was with them. The real boy that this was based on is Devontae Hart, okay? these two women that had these kids killed themselves and all the kids in a damn van that they drove off the cliff. That happened in 2018. The little boy Devontae Hart became famous from a photo from 2014 with him hugging this cop. Right? It was all over social media. It was on the front of the paper, the whole nine. And so this was, a piece that they took from that, okay? But of course, the little boy in this particular episode was being called Lucretius. But he had the same type of hat and he had the sign around him that said free hugs. And then he basically ends up, running to this cop trying to ask him for help. And in this case, in this episode, that's how his, picture ends up on the front of the paper or whatever, because he's hugging the cop and he's actually asking for help, saying, please, I learned my lesson. I just want to go home. I hate my new parents. I want to go back to my mother that cooks and everything like that. And the cop is saying, slow down, and what's going on? And he's saying, these moms, they make me do all of this, different chores, and they don't feed me and all of that. And so the two ladies come over and they say, that's our son. They asking, officer, is there a problem? And he was like, this is your son. And they was like, yes, just because, we're white and we adopt impoverished kids and all this and that. And so, he was like, oh, okay, I get it. I see what's going on. And he basically ends up, leaving him there. And so my stomach started turning after this part, y'all, because like I said, I know the real story and I know what happened in real life, and that's another one that you guys can also look up, okay? And it was very, very, very sad. But nonetheless, you have them here with him, and then you have, this black worker that comes to do an inspection and see what's going on, and they're like, well, where's our usual worker that usually comes? And she was like, oh, she's out sick. And even when she first walks in, she's like, oh, what's that smell? And they trying to tell her it's some damn Brussels sprouts, and she looking like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then she even says, well, dang, y'all moved 5 months ago, how come we don't have no updates? How come this is not on record? And then she's asking why is it dog here and mess all around. And like I said, she's trying to do her job and be thorough. She's a black woman. You see this little girl that's sick on the couch, and she's like, how are you feeling? She's all out of it, and these little tissues with blue stuff all around it. So she's like, what the heck is this? And they like, oh, this is medicine, it's blueberries. And she was like, do you have a washcloth I could use? And then they like, no. And she's basically looking at them too, okay, like, what the hell, y'all into in here? And she's steadily taking her notes. So I'm thinking like, yes, get them out of here, black lady. All right, I'm glad you coming through. Of course, I know how the real story went, but I'm like, maybe they're going to do it a little different in here. And I'm also just wondering, like, what the heck are we watching, right? Because at this point, we have not seen none of the regular cast members. So we're trying to still kind of figure out what the connection with this little boy is. But at this point, I'm like, all right, let's see where this going to go, right? And so, one of the moms say, can I talk to you? I think it was Amber, okay? She says, can I talk to you? Can we step outside for a minute? And she says, sure. So when she steps out with her, all of a sudden she come back in talking about, oh, everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? There's no problems. Everything is fine now. Everything is fixed. And we don't see the lady no more. So it's like, well, what the hell happened to the lady? The way she was asking questions and talking to her and stuff like that. She would not have just left. So at this point, I'm like, did they kill the damn lady? And so we have Lucretius basically wake up sweating like if he's having another dream, about being killed or something like that, or like something is gonna happen to him, right? And so I'm like, oh Lord, please let this little boy be okay. And they all of a sudden talking about they packing for this trip, that they gonna take a road trip, and they like, come on guys, hurry up, get ready. They packing up the whole van and everything. So I'm just, the more this is going on, the more nervous I'm getting, y'all, because like I said, I know the real story and how it ended, and I'm like, oh Lord, like he's going there. And so you have them in the van, you have them drive, and it looks like they ended up by the same Lake Lanier where, we first started with the story, and they go off to the side, and Lucretius is watching them this whole time, right? The other kids are asleep, and so they put the dog down, and they got the nerve to talk about, okay, corn pop, go ahead, you're free, you free, go, you could go on. They was like, we want him to live a good life and all this other stuff. And they claim that they are killing themselves and the kids to help them, okay, and to save them and all this other crap because of the system. And they say, oh, Corn Pop, he's gonna make it. Someone's gonna take care of him. And they was like, I just was like, are y'all serious? Like, which I know that could be true. Like, some people would, value a pet more than they would a damn child. Even though I love my pet too, okay. When my cat died, I was crying like a baby because they become a part of the family. But it was like, y'all was willing to put the damn dog out, but instead of taking the kids somewhere where they could be safe, if you was gonna try to do something to yourself, you didn't think the kids was worth it. So good child, when I tell y'all my stomach was doing somersaults with this whole freaking part. And so, they said, oh, when we decided to adopt and we decided to start bringing in these kids, we thought we was doing a good thing. And she was like, I thought we would get a loan from the bank and everything would work out all right. And they basically saying all these different things that they thought and what they had planned and all of that kind of stuff. And so they was like, but as time went on or whatever the case may be, she would think, why isn't anyone stopping us? And I was like, wow, this thing was just like really giving me chills, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. So then, Gail or whatever says to Amber, like, we gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. We good. Come on, let's just go. And they get in this car and they start driving off basically, to go ahead and end themselves and end the damn kids as well. But just as she turned around and looked and she moves the hat, and it's supposed to be Larry laying there sleeping, baby Larry had got up out that van, and it was the damn dog he had put in the place of him back in the van. And he was out looking, all right? So I was so relieved to see that, even though that is not what happened in real life. And to make it even creepier, to be honest, in real life, look, Devontae Hart actually was never found his body. It was the other kids and the two women that was found. So that actually makes it a little bit creepier because nobody really, ever was able to identify him. But in this, he did live. And so I just found it really interesting that Donald Glover and I forget the one that co-produces or whatever directs with him. I think it's Kira or Kyra. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. But this was a definitely interesting, perspective, and it was showing some truths and mixing it in with the fiction. And so nonetheless, he got home okay. All right. He went back home and his mother was like, oh, did you learn your lesson now? You ready to be home? And he was like, yeah, ma. He was like, you got any more of that leftover spaghetti, baby? He was so happy to eat that damn spaghetti, okay? He was tearing that damn bowl up. And listen, my mama used to always have that leftover spaghetti in the fridge too, okay? Used to make that big pot, and I'll be making that big pot too when I do make it, even though I don't cook as often. So I was like, okay, that was real. And I know he was very happy to be eating that spaghetti and not, that raw ass chicken they was trying to give him. He came in there straightening up and washing the daggone dish. He was like, listen, I am happy to be home. And he basically ended up turning on the news and seeing them damn crazy ass people, seeing them talking about it, on the news or whatever the case may be, what happened. And so we then go from there to, it basically seemed like if we see Donald Glover, okay, we see Ern, and he's waking up as if he's waking up out of a dream, like if he dreamed all of these things. And he's kind of out of it when he get up. And so I found that interesting because even though the name of the episode was 3 slaps and we did see the grandpa pop 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 3 times, it also was where we saw Lucretia's dream twice, and then we see an Ern waking up from a dream. So I'm like, okay, was that supposed to be a dream within a dream within a dream? I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I'm doing too much. But overall, I did like it. I did like the fact that they put some reality in there, but they did have my stomach doing some somersaults at the end, okay? And that definitely was a interesting way to start this off, to kick this episode off, to kick this season off. All right, that was the end of the episode, though, guys. You tell me what y'all thought about this episode. Did y'all know what the heck was happening? How did you like it, not like it, whatever? Put it all in the comments. Let's discuss. Okay, like, share, subscribe. Till next time, toodaloo.